Good afternoon. I don't usually do videos like this, but why not? Back from work, got some time before my son's basketball, so here we go. Going to ChatGPT. Pope Francis has passed, and a conclave has begun. Run a simulated first round vote. Include 8 cardinals who received votes, 5 of which are well known contenders for the papacy, and 3 of which are more unknown to the public. Include how many votes each receives in round 1, with all 135 cardinals voting, and a 2-sentence summary of each cardinal receiving votes, including what their strength would be. Okay, let's see what ChatGPT says round 1 of the conclave will be like. Here is a simulated first round vote of the conclave following the hypothetical passing of Pope Francis. This includes a mix of well-known papal leading contenders and lesser-known figures, with each receiving votes from among the 135 voting cardinals. A 2/3 majority, 90 votes, is required for electing a pope, which no one achieves in this first round. First round votes, we have Cardinal Matteo Zuppo of Italy receiving 28 votes, Cardinal Peter Turkson of Ghana receiving 22 votes, Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle of the Philippines receiving 20 votes, Cardinal Christoph Schönborn of Austria receiving 18 of the votes, Cardinal Jean-Claude Hollerich of Luxembourg receiving 14 votes, Cardinal Paulo Cesar Costa of Brazil receiving 12 votes, Cardinal Francois Xavier Bustillo of France receiving 11 votes, and Cardinal Stephen Ameo Martin Mula of South Sudan receiving 10. So yeah, the only one I haven't seen in some media suggestions is Mula from South Sudan. So that's interesting. Okay, so then we have the profiles. Zuppi, Archbishop of Bologna and President of the Italian Episcopal Conference, known for his pastoral focus, dialogue with secular society, and peace-building efforts. Zuppi is seen as a bridge between progressive and traditional factions in the church. Turkson of Ghana, former head of the dicastery for promoting integral human development, a longtime advocate for global justice and environmental stewardship. Turkson brings a strong voice from the global south and deep Vatican experience. Tagle from the Philippines, pro-prefect of the dicastery for evangelization. I'm also wondering how accurate these are, right? Sometimes you get some fake information from ChatGPT. So if anybody picks up anything, let me know. Charismatic and deeply pastoral. Tagle is beloved in Asia and admired globally for his humility, media savvy, evangelism, and theological depth. Schönborn of Austria, Archbishop of Vienna, and former editor of the Catechism, a theologian with deep doctrinal roots. Schönborn is respected across the spectrum for his intellectual rigor and nuanced leadership on controversial issues. Hollerich of Luxembourg, Relator General of the Synod on Synodality and Archbishop of Luxembourg, a Jesuit and strong advocate for synodality and church reform, Hollerich is favored by progressives for his openness to listening and cultural engagement. Costa of Brazil, Archbishop of Brasilia, a rising Latin American leader with strong academic credentials and a background in theology and interreligious dialogue. Costa could represent the vibrant and growing church in Brazil. Bustillo of France, Archbishop of Ajaccio, Corsica, elevated by Pope Francis in 2023, a lesser-known Franciscan, known for his spiritual depth and humility. Bustillo embodies the Pope Francis model of a shepherd who smells of the sheep. Yeah, and I've heard him actually talked about, so lesser known, but definitely being considered by some people. And then Mullah of South Sudan, this is the one I haven't heard of. Archbishop of Juba, a figure of reconciliation and peace in a war-torn region. Mullah represents the peripheries that Pope Francis has long emphasized and brings unique voice from a young and growing church. Okay, I'm going to prompt simulate a second round. In this round, cardinals are looking at candidates that have different strength than Pope Francis, the great pastor, had. Include a sentence on each of the 5 remaining candidates on what strength they bring uniquely to the position of Pope, as well as what negatives are viewed toward them in the process. Okay, let's see who we get. Here's a second round simulation of the Papal Conclave. In this round, cardinals are shifting focus away from the pastoral style of Pope Francis and are instead emphasizing doctrinal clarity, governance, intellectual leadership, and global diplomacy. As the voting progresses, lesser-known candidates lose traction, while those with contrasting strengths to Francis gain. So in this round, Schönberg moves up to first with 33 votes of Austria. Turkson stays in second with 29. Hollerich, 24. Zuppi, 21. Tagle, 16. And then there's minor vote getters getting 12. Okay, so Cardinal Christoph Schönborn, a world-class theologian and editor of the Catechism. Schönborn brings doctrinal clarity and deep intellectual leadership at a time when many seek a stabilizing theological voice. Weakness. At 80, his age is seen as a major drawback, with concerns that his papacy might be short or transitional. Cardinal Peter Turkson of Ghana. Strength. A seasoned diplomat and voice for the Church of the Global South, Turkson has the vision and experience to lead on global justice, climate change, and international relations. Weakness. Some see him as a lacking decisiveness in governance roles during his time in the Roman Curia. Cardinal Jean-Claude Hollerich, Luxembourg. Strength. A Jesuit and strong advocate of synodality and institutional reform. Hollerich is perceived as capable of building structures for long-term collegial governance. Weakness. Critics worry that his openness to discussing sensitive doctrinal issues, e.g. sexuality, church teachings, might cause division. Cardinal Matteo Zuppi, Italy. Known for his peacemaking skills and work with Sant'Egidio, Zuppi is seen as someone who can unify factions and maintain a warm public face for the Church. Weakness. His closeness in style and substance of Pope Francis may not resonate with cardinals seeking a firmer doctrinal or administrative hand. And then Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, Philippines. Strength. A beloved figure with a global appeal, Tagle combines deep spirituality and exceptional communication skills, and is seen as a powerful voice for evangelization in Asia. Weakness. Some cardinals worry that his emotional, gentle style might be too similar to Francis's, lacking the administrative edge needed for tough institutional reform. Great. In the third round, cardinals seek, what are we looking for? We're looking for theological clarity, as well as pastoral leadership, and begin to create factions based on progressive, conservative, and moderate perspectives. Please list the top 4 candidates in this round. Okay, let's see. We might actually get 90 at some point, right? We're thinking about that. I'd think this would probably be the way it would go, right? That we would be considering different things in different rounds, right? But that, wanting to do something different. Maybe we want somebody that's more theological, clear, but also has that pastoral leadership. So we'll see. See if we get anybody. Third round of voting. Momentum begins to crystallize around specific factions within a college of cardinals, with doctrinal clarity and pastoral strength now dual priorities. Factions coalesce along progressive, conservative, and moderate lines. The resulting vote shows clear ideological fault lines and a growing path towards consensus. Third round voting results. Oh wow, even less. So Schoenberg puts to 38 with conservative-leaning moderates. So let's see. Oh no, he had more. He went from 33 to 38. Let's see. Hollerich gets up to 32 with the progressives. Zuppi, 30 with the moderates, and then Turkson with the moderates to progressive. Okay, Schoenberg, theological clarity. As a student of Ratzinger and editor of the Catechism, he represents theological orthodoxy and structured thought, pastoral leadership. Though deeply spiritual, some see him as more of a teacher than a pastor. Factional base. Draws support from conservatives and moderate cardinals who seek doctrinal grounding post-Francis. Challenge. His age, 80, and association with an older generation may alienate progressives, those wanting to long-term reform. Cardinal Jean-Claude Hollerich. Theological clarity, willing to re-express doctrine in modern terms, especially around sexuality and inclusion, appeals to progressives seeking renewal. Pastoral leadership, Jesuit training, and European leadership style resonate with those favoring synodality and discernment. Factional base, strongly progressive bloc and reform-oriented moderates. Challenge. Seen as controversial for his openness to revising aspects of church teaching, risking alienation from traditionalists. Cardinal Matteo Zuppi. Theological clarity, solid but not showy, seen as doctrinally reliable, without being confrontational. Okay, well, let's skip around. Then we got Turkson. So, a clear favorite is yet to emerge, but the lines are sharpening. Let's see. Simulate a fourth round. In this round, somebody gets 90 votes. Let's see if that works. Oh, is it going to work? In the fourth round of the 2025 Papal Conclave, a decisive shift occurs as Cardinal Louis Antonio Tagle secures the necessary 90 votes. Wow, there we go. I don't know how that happened, but it came from left field. Pastoral warmth and theological clarity, and is distinct from the style of Pope Francis. How was that?